How do you feel about the start of this camp?
We're excited. We got a new life about us this season. The new locker room downstairs is pretty nice. We've worked tirelessly to turn it around this summer, and we're hoping for the best this season.
What have you seen from guys that give you that hope that you can turn it around?
The new discipline that we have that Coach Muschamp, Coach Dillman's installed over the off season. I think that everything's been more attention to detail. A lot more strict on some things, but we're just overall excited. There's a new enthusiasm I think that we were missing last year, and we're really excited going into this camp.
How about the quarterback competition?
Oh, excited as always. Every single year I've been here, I've been in a competition with somebody, so it's nothing new. Brandon and Jake and Lorenzo, everybody that's going to be playing quarterback, they're all talented, as you guys all well know, and we're excited about it.
How is it difficult not to be selfish and look out for yourself, but at the same time, you want to help the young guys come along?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm going to help those guys because they're my teammates. I want South Carolina football to be good, not necessarily myself, and that's how I've always been since I've gotten here. But you always got to look out, for yourself. You got to make sure you're paying attention to meetings, taking notes, making sure you're staying ahead of the game. But at the same time, if they have a question, I'm not going to not answer it because I'm their teammate and I'm their friend before I'm their competitor. We'll compete against other guys starting September 1st. So.
You talked about that attention to detail. Did you see that during the summer workouts?
Yeah, absolutely. The biggest thing that I saw, like I said, was the attention to detail, and it was not so much the things we were doing, it was what they were saying and making sure we understood that every little thing mattered, whether it be touching the line or finishing your reps on time. Just little stuff like that they emphasized over the summer, I think is going to help pay dividends this offseason.
How do you feel?
How's your injury? Do you feel any lingering effects from what happened?
No, I actually feel better than I did before spring. I worked really hard this summer, just like I did last summer. I'm 5 pounds bigger than I was last year coming into the season, and I feel more athletic, and I think it gave my body actually some time to rest still from the previous year. But they put us through a very strenuous summer workout plan. I think that's gotten me ready to play, and the rest of our guys.
Do the coaches give you any credit for what you did last year, or has the slate just been totally wiped clean?
They do. They saw that I was capable of playing at this level, and that's why they included me in the competition right away. But the slate is completely clean. It's a fair game toss-up just like it was last year, and hopefully I can come out on top.
How do you feel you've improved over the off-season?
Just the maturity of being around the program now, coming into my second year, having started 8 games last year and playing. I feel more mature, and when we're doing practice in spring, the game was a lot slower. It seemed to slow down a little bit. We were still learning a new playbook, but I still felt really comfortable with my performance through those 8 practices that I was doing, and I just felt like everything was slowing down.
Is there any part of you that thinks, okay, I started 8 games last year, now I've got to kind of win this job all over again? Is there any frustration in that?
Oh, absolutely not. You got to compete. It's the cliche, you got to come in, compete, and fight for a job, but it's true, you have to. And when you have 2 talented guys that are coming in, I can't believe they're 18 years old. They're so much older than their age. But, they've done a great job pushing me, and I feel like I've done a great job pushing them. We're going to go out and compete and, get ready to hopefully win a job.
Barry, you mentioned they're older than their age. We don't get to talk to them, so what is it about them that makes you say that?
They're just mature. When I came in, I was 18. When I was 18, I was in high school still, and they're getting ready to now potentially start for a big-time SEC program. I think physically they're mature, but emotionally and socially they are too. I mean, they're just good people. You can tell they were raised the right way, and they're just good guys to be around.
How does this scheme compare to what you learned before in terms of the complexity of it and so forth?
It's about the same, I guess, in complexity. We're trying to get the ball in space a little bit more than not so much down the field passing. We're going to be a little bit more balanced running and throwing, a lot more run-pass option stuff. So we'll see.
In 2 years, you've gone from fifth-string walk-on to starting quarterback scholarship in the SEC. You still wake up every morning pinching yourself?
No, not anymore. That was last season. At the beginning of last season, it was like, wow, I'm really making it. I'm starting some games. I got a scholarship. Now it's just the regular thing, and it really has always been kind of the same old, same old. Even when I was a walk-on, I felt, like I was on scholarship because Coach Spurrier was getting me reps in practice, and I was always competing for a significant role on the team. So.
Any specific ways you want to improve from last year, like completion percentage? Things like that?
Absolutely. I mean, everything. But the biggest thing was taking care of the football. I knew where I was going. There were some throws that got away from me a little bit, maybe some poor decisions. Just taking care of the football and being a little bit better in the red zone, I think, will benefit me and our team.
Well, working with also you had the spring with Coach Roper, but how's it working with Coach Roper as opposed to Coach Spurrier last year?
They're two different coaches. Coach Spurrier was. I mean, he's Coach Spurrier. He's a legend. He was a quarterback guru, but so is Coach Roper. Coach Roper is extremely hands-on. When he's on the field, he's very, very tough. But off the field, he's in the meeting room. He's extremely intellectual, and he breaks it down like a professor would in a classroom. So he makes you understand what he's talking about. So I think he's done a great job with me.
Did he tell you any Eli Manning stories?
Oh, all the time. Eli Manning, Peyton Manning, stuff like that, just about how hard they work to get where they're at now. And, they were successful because they put in the time beforehand,
Do you have a feel for how Lorenzo has accepted this kind of sort of move to wide receiver, playing a little bit of both?
Lorenzo wants to play. He wants the ball in his hand. He wants to score touchdowns. He wants to be the man. And I think the position that he's, moved to and being, playing quarterback and receiver, he's going to get a lot of touches, and he needs to be because we all know how explosive he is with the ball. And he's a team guy, and he wants to win just as bad as we all do. And I think getting him the ball is going to help our chances of winning a lot because he's that good.
And do you feel like you missed out on any kind of opportunity to try to maybe entrench yourself as the leader in this quarterback battle by missing part of spring?
Yeah, I do believe that. But then again, I still think that they were going to make us come out and compete in fall camp because spring was 4 months ago. So. Yeah, I think they were going to make me come out and compete regardless of if they would have named me the starter or Brandon or who else would have emerged out of the battle this spring.
At receiver, who's standing out right now? Who's made a move since spring?
Debo's been special since he's got here. Brian Edwards looked good. Lorenzo looks awesome out there. Just his height and athleticism. He can catch, he can run, he can do pretty much everything. Jamari Smith has made a huge turnaround from playing corner to receiver. He's as quick as anybody that we have on our team. He's got great hands, and when he has the ball in his hand, he's special. I grew up watching him, not grew up, I should say, but I watched him in high school. He played with my little brother, and he is a special dude when he's carrying the football. And then Hayden Hurst and KC, they've done an awesome job this summer. Also, Jacob August has put in the time to put himself in the tight end battle. But I'm excited for everybody. I really am.
Harry, the expectations of this team from the outside pretty low.
Yeah.
Do players pay attention to that at all? Do they use it as motivation, or do you just ignore it?
Yeah, we do use it as motivation. But yeah, you can't really pay attention to that. Once we start playing games, you got to focus on Vanderbilt, then you got to focus on Mississippi State and then East Carolina. You can't worry about, they picked us last in the East, And when I was here, when we were 11-2 and finished 7th in the country and we were climbing the rankings, we were never like, we got to win this game so we can be number 5 in the country. It was like, we're playing Tennessee this week, let's go win, or we're playing Florida this week, let's go win. So I think that's what the approach that we're going to use this season.
Do you remember the moment when you saw Coach Muschamp, heard Coach Muschamp, and you went, whoa, things are going to be different?
Yeah, I didn't know how different they would be. I think I realized that when he came in. We had our first team meeting right when he got hired right after last season. Just the way he addressed everybody, you could tell that there was about to be a culture change, and I think people around the program and inside of the program have seen that.
Can you describe the culture change?
Boot camp, disciplinary, everything's structured, attention to detail, making sure that you're where you're supposed to be, doing what you need to be on time, and everything is structured to the point where if you're not going to do what he's telling you to do, then you're not going to play. So
We talked about the scheme, but was getting used to the pace and then trying to get it off with 18 seconds, was that the hardest thing for you? One of the hardest things for you, you think?
Not necessarily. We did some things that were high tempo last year a little bit. I think it was just memorizing the offense. When you get a new playbook, you got to memorize a complete new playbook, runs, pass checks, everything like that. But not necessarily the tempo. Is more so just memorizing the plays.